Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you for clicking on. Hey, I got the good stuff. Here we go. Quick, to the point. Donald Trump walking in last. He is. He's got the look of somebody that doesn't want to be there. He's got the look of somebody that knows that doom and gloom may be happening. Dead man walking, perhaps. A lot of people unhappy with how things are playing out in the Republican Party. And before we get to that, I want to show you this. Now, we've seen several different angles. We've seen all different kinds of things. Um, what we haven't seen is one of the Secret Service sharpshooters taking a knee and having a cigarette during what appears to be an evacuation.
We love you! Love you, Tom.
Right here. Okay, keep an eye on this guy right here. Right here. I don't know. It just doesn't look like it's that big of a deal, at least to that guy. Just something to think about. All right, moving on. We're going quickly through the good stuff. Donald Trump called Bobby Kennedy Jr. and well, that phone call was leaked to the public, and here it is.
Something's wrong with that whole system. And, and it's the doctors you find. Remember I said I want to do small doses. Small doses. When you feed a baby, Bobby, a vaccination that has like 38 different vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this. And do you ever see the size of it, right? It's just massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do so. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win.
Okay, Trump's offering him a job. He's saying it'd be so good for you, so big for you. He has asked, before the recording started, he asked Bobby Kennedy to endorse him. And he basically is telling Bobby Kennedy he's got a job for him, and it's political collusion, it appears.
We're way ahead of the guy. And, he's interesting. It was very nice, actually. He called me. And he said...
Okay, this is talking about Joe Biden. He said he's a very nice guy. He actually called me.
And anyway, I would love you to do so. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy. And, he's interesting. It was very nice, actually. He called me. And he said, how did you choose to move to the right? Because, so I guess that's, people see it. If I was looking straight on, right? He said, I said, I was just showing a chart. I didn't have to tell him the chart was on all the people pouring into our country. But I just turned my head to show the chart. And something wrapped me. It felt like a giant, like the world's largest mosquito. And it was a bullet going around. What do they call that? An AR-15 or something? That was a big gun. Those are pretty tough guns, right? I agree with you, man.
Okay, I want to play this again here. I want to play the end again here. Again, we got the good stuff. Listen to this.
Like the world's largest mosquito.
Okay, Trump is describing what happened. Let's listen.
I had to show the chart, and something wrapped me. It felt like a giant, like the world's largest mosquito.
Okay, he doesn't talk about pain. He doesn't talk about injury. He talks about how it sounded like a giant mosquito. There's no mention, oh my gosh, I felt a sharp pain. Oh, I knew I was struck. My life flashed before my eyes. None of that.
It felt like a giant, like the world's largest mosquito.
Why?
And it was. It was a bullet going around. You know, what do they call that? An AR-15 or something? That was a big gun. Those are pretty tough guns, right?
Just something to think about. He doesn't know what an AR-15 is, or that it fires .5. Never mind. Um, Another something to think about: Trump golfing yesterday, no bandage. Trump getting off the plane yesterday, no bandage. Um, Trump at the first day of the RNC last night, a um, an odd look. Let's just put it that way. He knows, Trump knows that he has to play the con. The con has to continue, and he had to put this thing on his head that he knows makes him look like an idiot. But and he says the reason he hasn't called anybody involved in the shooting is because he can't use the phone because of his ear. I guess he can't use his left ear for the phone. Something to think about. Also, something to think about: MAGA doesn't like J.D. Vance's pick for as the vice president because, well, among other things, he doesn't have a white woman for a wife. And well, let's just listen to Nick Fuentes here.
J.D. Vance also has a non-white wife, an Indian wife, and a kid named Vivek. All his kids have Indian names. So it's like, what exactly are we getting here? And that's not a dig at him just because I'm a racist or something. But it's like, who is this guy really? Do we really expect that the guy who has an Indian wife and named their kid Vivek is going to support white identity? Like, there's a white genocide going on in the world. White people are being systematically replaced in America and Europe through immigration and to a much lesser extent due to intermarrying.
I went outside and looked around, and there is nobody here to replace me at the moment. Just something to think about.
This guy has a non-white wife and a kid named Vivek. This guy is going to be a defender of white identity? I don't think so. This guy's going to defend American identity? If he does, it's going to be no better than any of these other civic nationalists like Vivek Ramaswamy. How else could you countenance American identity if you have a mixed up family like that?
Okay, I told you last night, if you watched, the QAnon are really upset because, well, John F. Kennedy Jr. wasn't selected. He might have been part of the staged shooting if it was staged, as there is footage of him shouting into a cell phone, do it now, allegedly. So there's going to be a lot still to come. Now, this will get lost, but Democrat New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez has been found guilty of all counts in a federal corruption trial. So the Department of Justice does not have select party affiliates. Both Hunter Biden and now Bob Menendez have been found guilty by federal courts. And we talked last night, Elon Musk is donating $45 million a month for the next 4 months. That's $180 million to Donald Trump. Here's what Trump had to say about Musk. When Elon Musk came to the White House asking me to help on all of his many subsidized projects, whether it's electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere, without which subsidies he'd be worthless, and telling me how he was a big Trump fan and Republican, I could have said, quote, drop to your knees and beg, end quote, and he would have done it. Now, Musk has bought his own presidential candidate, the very same Donald Trump. Again, just giving you some things to think about here real quick. I got the good stuff. I told you last night that there are investigations underway. Was there a second Trump shooter? New acoustic evidence. Um, and let's get down here. An audio forensic analysis by Caitlin Gurgaras, director of the National Center for Media Forensics at the University of Colorado in Denver, and Cole Whitecotton, a senior professional research associate at Media Forensics based on audio recorded in Butler, Pennsylvania, may show the possibility of a second shooter. According to both experts, the first 3 shots were consistent with alleged weapon A being the sniper's gun. The next 5 were consistent with alleged weapon B, that being the Secret Service counter sniper gun. And the final acoustic impulse was emitted by a possible weapon C. We know that one of those was the identified shooter. The other was a Secret Service sniper. We don't know whom the possible weapon C might have belonged. A second shooter? Question mark. The armed spotter on the government sniper team? Question mark. We have a lot of question marks. Thanks for clicking on. We'll try to answer more of this as we move along. And oh man, I hate it when this happens. It says my browser lost. Let me put this back up here in case it did not show the first time. I'm not sure what else hasn't shown where we lost the stream at, but again, this here are the headlines. Comes out July 16th. Was there a second Trump shooter? New acoustic evidence. I told you about this last night. And again, here is the article. And according to the experts, the first 3 shots were consistent with alleged weapon A, the next 5 consistent with alleged weapon B, and the final acoustic impulse was emitted by a possible weapon C. More questions than answers? Yes, but we are only a few days into this, and while it doesn't seem to be investigated by the media, traditionally, they've moved on. They're not investigating. They're just putting the alleged victim onto a pedestal. There are some things that could have happened. All right. This could have been staged and it went wrong and somebody ended up dead. There are a lot of questions. Our friend Chris, he's talked with some friends in DC and high places, and they themselves have questions. Chris will be on with us Friday night. Of course, we'll continue to talk about all this, and we'll probably have some more information by then. I will not be back on later on tonight unless there is something extremely big happen. We'll be on Wednesday night at 10. And until then, peace be with you. Blessings be upon you. And may God have mercy on the United States of America. I love you all. It's a dark world. Try to be a light. Hit the subscribe, like, and share, and we'll see you next time.